Hi friends, welcome to this video tutorial. The video is the second part of the nursery layout. It will cover establishment of nursery, planning of nursery, site selection, and layout plan for a nursery. In the earlier video, we have already seen the definition of the nursery, types of the nursery, scope and importance of the nursery, and in this we will see how the nursery is established. As you see, the establishment of a nursery is a gradual process, and this process is time consuming and it is dependent upon location of the nursery. It's dependent upon the agroclimatic conditions, the soil type, pH of the soil, irrigation facilities in the area, communication and transportation facilities, and the market demand, availability of germplasm, and skilled labor. So when you establish a nursery, it cannot be done quickly. It's a gradual process, and you have to have these things which are very important for the establishment of the nursery. For planning, we have to plan for establishment of a plant nursery. Prior to the establishment of plant nursery, planning is considered first and most important step. Why? It's directly related to the type of nursery to be raised, duration and the type of the plants to be propagated, and it depends upon local market demands, needs of community or organization. Because when you are establishing a nursery, you have to plan a nursery, and your planning will be dependent on the demands of the community or let's market demand. What's the market demand? And what type of nursery you want to have. So that's why planning is considered as the first and the most important step in the establishment of nursery. You have to see the nature of your clientele, which type of clients are there, and the quantum of the material requirement, how much material will be required there. And your planning will be on the basis of a target seedling concept, because you will assess the market demand and you will see the target seedling concept is dependent upon how much is the seedling requirements, how much is the planting material requirements of the area. And you will also recognize the end user requirements. What are their requirements? And what's the nature of outplanting sites? Age and size of the stock. What are their requirements? What should be the age of the stock and what should be the size of the stock? And what is the schedule of planting season? In which season it is to be grown there? Because in planning, these are the things which a person has to keep in mind. Nature of clientele, target seedling concept, what is the end user requirement, what are our outplanting sites where we have to grow plants, what is the age and size of the stock required there, and what is the schedule of planting season, in which season the plants are to be supplied. So that means you have a product choice that depends upon available resources, market demand in the desired area, market-driven product propagation. As per market survey, product should be propagated in the nursery. So in planning, you need a market survey. Then you can propagate the plant as per the market survey. Then you have to select a site where you have to make your nursery. That is called as a site selection. So first of all, your nursery should be located nearer to the marketing centers. It should have this should be accessible by road and other means of transportation. Should have all weather road surface. Sufficient irrigation facilities should be available there throughout the year. Adequate irrigation water quality and quantity should be available there, because water quality on the basis of the type and the concentration of dissolved salts. Because when you are selecting a site for nursery, these are the prerequisites, that road connectivity should be there, water quality, irrigation facilities should be available there. It should be easily accessible by transportation, by means of transportation, and it should be nearer to the marketing centers. And also you'll have to see the water quantity in terms of pressure and flow. How much is the water flow gallons per minute there? Capacity of water resources will determine irrigation system, because you'll have to design, and it will help in the design and the nursery capacity. How much is the irrigation system, irrigation water quantity available to you? That will decide the design and the nursery capacity. Nowadays we have the drip irrigations in case of high density crops. So that is planned as per as the water resources which are available. You should have an access to electricity that helps to automate the irrigation system. So electricity supply should be at the site, the proposed site for the selection of a nursery. If electricity is not available there, generators are to be installed there. So second thing is land for nursery. The land, as I said, is a fundamental and a basic resource for a nursery. There should be an adequate land area. Land requirement is 1/4 of an hectare or up to 10 to 20 hectares depending upon the size, the type of the nursery. If it's wholesale nursery, you require more land area. If it is retail nursery, you require less land area. And the land should be flat or slightly inclined to allow sufficient drainage. The soil should be loam, sandy loam soil with large quantity of organic matter. It should have sand, sillet and clay and organic matter in a proper proportion, which is called as the loamy soil. A sandy loam is also considered for the propagation purposes. The pH of the soil must be near neutral 6.5 to 7.5. And you should avoid flood prone areas which will hamper your nursery operations. So land should be adequate, it should be flat or slightly inclined, it should have a good soil texture, it should have a good pH, and it should not be a flood prone area. And also it should have a good water retention capacity. So water retention capacity is important. That will be decided by the texture of the soil. What is the texture of the soil? You have already observed, if there is a clay soil, and when there is a dryness, there will be cracks in the soil. A loamy soil will have a sufficient retention capacity, and there will be good aeration also. Presence of oxygen in the air spaces of the soil is also important for the growth and development of the plants. So good site water drainage should be there. That is including the runoff from the nursery. You have to manage the runoff from the nursery. Area must have good exposure to sunlight for the sufficient growth of the plants. It should be protected from strong winds. For that you can use the windbreakers. It can be used in the form of trees, and also there should be protection against stray animals. And you can have a temporary or the permanent demarcation walls around the land. So these are the prerequisites for the land requirements for a nursery. Eco-political concerns. We'll have to take these concerns into consideration also. Sites should be free from air and water pollution. You cannot establish your nursery in an area which is already having a very high air pollution and the water pollution. And you should avoid, it should be free from pesticide drift from the nearby agriculture operations. The pesticides, when you are spraying in the area, and there is always the persistence of the pesticides. So if your nursery area is nearer to the agricultural land wherein operation has been done, pesticide operation has been done, there can be a pesticide drift, and which will have an adverse effect on the plantation in the nursery. So it should be free from unmanageable weed and pest problem, and no zoning or historical land use issue. Because when you are establishing a land, establishing a nursery, you have to take into consideration if it is not zoned for an agriculture purpose or other purpose, or it should not have an historical land use issue. So it should be clear from all these eco-political concerns, away from residential areas and educational institutions. You should prefer your nursery away from the residential areas as well as from the educational institutions. Your nursery site layout, which is always based on a target plant concept, focuses on plant material. Specific is outplanting site. Because you have to see your area, the end user, which is your outplanting site, need and expectations of your clients. Outplanting windows will determine scheduling of nursery operations, flow of plants through different areas of the facility. Overall nursery site plan, which is a plan for easy access and material flow. Easy access and material flow. What should be an ideal nursery, which we call as a site plan for the nursery? It should preferably be, the plot should be rectangular in shape. And for futuristic management, a perfect master plan must be made. It should be properly fenced to protect it from wild and stray animals. The site should have, present, you can have a permanent fencing, or you can have the fencing by means of thorny plants. Golden Duranta is a plant, and barbed fencing is also preferred. And you can use windbreakers in the form of trees. Plant trees on the windward side to act as a windbreakers. There can be a single line trees with spacing of 1 to 5 to 2 meters, or two lines with spacing of 4 to 5 meters within the line and 2 to 4 meters between the lines. So on the windward side, you are using the windbreakers. The windbreakers are in the form of the tall trees, because that will prevent the damage to the nursery. What are the requirements for nursery layout? So we will see with the help of one diagram what are the basic requirements. These are the requirements for a nursery layout, ideal nursery layout. It should have proper road and paths. There should be a proper nursery entrance. There should be a reception counter. There should be a nursery office, labor rest room, store room, pesticide storage room, generator for electricity, parking area for the clients, display area, growing structures, propagation area or seed beds, soil mixing area, potting yard, polyhouse, greenhouse, packing yard, irrigation and drainage channels, mother block, which is very important, and composite pit. These are the requirements for a nursery layout, which is to be laid in a proper site. And these are the basic requirements for a nursery layout. It can be explained with the help of this single diagram. You see, this is the main road. The first is the main road. This is the entrance to the nursery. This is the central road going through the nursery. And on this side, you have now the office, storerooms, See, the second is the entrance, which will be marked here, and it is properly fenced with this externally fenced, can be permanently fenced, or it can have this plant fencing. And then the third represents the reception, fourth represents the nursery office, the fifth represents the labor rest room, and the sixth is the store room, and the seventh is the pesticide storage room, because you are keeping pesticides away from main storeroom because of the adverse effects it can have. And the eighth is the generator. Now you have a display area on this side, that is this area, which is display area. And 10 is the potted plants, because nursery can have the potted plants, they are displayed here. And 11th is, this is the parking area, and this is the greenhouse. So entry, nearer to the entry, there is an establishment, office establishment, infrastructural establishment. On the left is the parking place as well as the display area. And then the 13 is, this is the area very important, because it is the mother block where you plant the trees or the plants which will serve as the main mother plants for the propagation purposes. So this is the mother block, and the 14th is the, this is the nursery road, and these are the internal nursery road. 15th is the propagation beds. These are all propagation beds which have a proper space. The space can be for drainage purposes also, or small walking paths also. These are all beds for propagation purposes. And then you have the 16th, this on this side is the soil mixing area, where you have to mix sand, silt and clay. And the 17th is the potting area, where you can make the pots. And the 18th is the pot yard. These are the areas where you are keeping the plants in a pot. These are the areas where you are planting directly, either by means of seeds or through cuttings, whatever the means of propagation, but the plant is kept directly in the soil beds. And here you are mixing the pots, putting them into the material into the pots, and then you are displaying, keeping them here, which is the 18th. That is the pot yard, where the plants will be kept in a line in rows, but they will be in pots. That can be polypots or other types of the pots. And then on this side you are keeping a polyhouse. This is the polyhouse. And then you have a packing yard, where you have to pack the materials. And this is the well, or which is the water resource here. It can be a groundwater resource here, that is a well water resource. Or then there is the last area, which is kept as a composite pit for making the manures for the nursery operations. And this 23rd is the external demarcation of the nursery. This is the ideal site plan for having a nursery layout. I'll just give you one example. How you will management of the nursery. See, there are the three things which are important, the key elements of nursery management: the place, which we have already discussed, the plant, which will be your choice, depends upon the market demand, and the person behind. The person behind is the one who has a passion for the plants and who is knowledgeable, has an eye on the market, and has a good knowledge of market management. Here is an allocation of a space for a nursery covering a total area of 0.5 acres. Now I have already given the different, in a layout plan, the different areas in a nursery, and what will be the in by way of square meters the area which you will keep them for the purpose. Suppose mother plant, mother stocks, mother plant area, mother block is very important. 560 square meters you are keeping. Pot nursery 200, polybag nursery 350, and ball nursery including beds 550. Work shed 27 square meters, polyhouse 36, store cum office 27, and the total is 1750 square meters. And 15% additional for passage, drainage, etc. That's 260. Add to it, the grand total will be 2010 square meters. That comes approximately 2.5 acre of land. This is how you can plan your nursery. These are the land requirements for a particular nursery operation, and the area, total area here has been earmarked as 0.5 acres. So we have seen in this video, we have seen how you have to establish a nursery, what are the planning part of it, and how you will select this, what are the requirements for the site selection, and what is the generalized layout plan for the nursery. Hope in this video the video will help you in understanding the site plans and the establishment of the nursery. Feel free to subscribe the channel. If you like it, subscribe the channel Green Treasure, which is mentioned at the beginning. Goodbye till the next video is uploaded. Be happy, be safe. Thank you very much.